Hi, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jess from BehatiLife. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are talking about the winter solstice. Not just any winter solstice, but the winter solstice of 2017. Today is the perfect day to talk about the winter solstice of 2017 because today is the winter solstice of 2017. Why is this energetically important? Astrologically, let's dive into it to talk about it. Astrologically and energetically. So, the winter solstice, as you might have already figured out by now, is December 21st, 2017. What this is, just in science terms, is the shortest day of the year and the longest night. This means less light, more dark. Now, if you think about that, and if you think about all that we've been through in 2017, that's pretty freaking significant. So if we need light in order to light up our lives and to illuminate, and light brings growth, and light makes things, pop up out of the earth and grow, and dark makes things go back into the earth and be dormant, what does that mean for us? And as human beings, we vibe with this energy whether we want to realize it or not. I think, before I go off on a tangent about this, society right now it almost seems as though we are being encouraged to fight with our natural current. We are being encouraged to fight our natural inclinations, our natural instincts, our intuition. So if you really sit and connect within, I feel like for a lot of us, myself included, you'll find that your energy is starting to wind down. And this is because this is a direct reflection of what's going on around you, at least in the Eastern Hemisphere. So the winter solstice is so important energetically because it reminds us of the beauty and the importance of that hibernation period. Now, I made a video about this not too long ago about the importance of the hibernation period and how you can maximize this time and work with your own goddess vibes, your own goddess energy in order to benefit from this period of quietness, of solitude, of preparation. So I'll probably link that down in the description box below. But astrologically, today is really difficult. I mean, I'm feeling it in my own personal life. My trip to go see my family was canceled because of circumstances, and it makes me sad. But if we look at the chart of the moment, the sun, and I talked about this in the weekly forecast for December 18th, covering this week. The sun and Saturn meet in the sign of Capricorn. Now, Capricorn's energy during the winter solstice, every single year when you have the winter solstice, it's in the energy of, and it's in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn wants you to be determined. It wants you to be resilient. That's a big word that you're going to hear me say a lot, is resilience, and to be resilient. And why is that? Well, because naturally, in history, when winter comes, you have hopefully spent all of the months preparing for this time of dormancy when the earth becomes really quiet and still. For the most part, there's not a whole lot of growth that's happening that you can see, but just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening, doesn't mean that there isn't a magic that's happening within the earth and also within you, inside of you. So hopefully during this time, for the months leading up to the winter solstice, leading up into winter, you spent so much time preparing and going through the details of what it is that you are going to need. Now, spiritually, you guys realize, and and hopefully you're learning this by, tuning into my channel, or maybe you already know it. But carrying on the heavy burden of the year, or of life, the things that would normally weigh you down or that have become too heavy for you to carry now, even if at one point it was everything that it is that you wanted, it's going to do more harm than good. And October, during the month of October, it was about death and transition and transformation. The things that needed to die off and to die out were happening left and right. And why? Like, why is this happening? Because the universe, the divine, the higher power, your angels, your guides, they do not want you to carry into the harsher moments of our lives, the winter of our lives, or in general, because everything works in a cycle, just like it works with the tarot card, the Wheel of Fortune. Everything is constantly moving. So it doesn't want you to carry it doesn't want you to carry with you anything that doesn't serve you, because it is a waste of your energy, your attention, your resources, etc., etc. So this could be relationships that have died down, relationships that need to transform, responsibilities, commitments that you would normally say yes to, that it's time for you to say no to, and you start to strip and break them down. This makes us, in this winter period, as we're moving through the sign of Capricorn, which is happening right now with the sun in the first degrees of Capricorn, this means that you need to be resilient and you need to persevere. I can never say that word, but you need to be able to make it through the winter of your life, whether it's happening in winter actually during your winter time, or whether it's a more difficult phase that could come up in your life in summer or spring or fall or whenever, that you're able and you're prepared to deal with the more difficult time and the difficult phases. So while the sun and Saturn are moving through the sign of Capricorn, we're being encouraged to really buckle down, and we're being encouraged to put in the hard work and the commitment, and to be resilient and to push through any cycle of our life that tests our patience, that tests our will, that tests our drive, that would normally be set to break us down. And if you think about the importance of and the energy of the winter solstice, you'll see that there's less light, more dark. And for so many people, they're like, but I live for the summer. Like, I live for the light. I live for abundance. And that's true, and that's all well and good, but think about the magic of the darkness. Think about what the darkness brings. Think about what the darkness gives to us. So what it gives to us is a time to reflect and to go within and to find what's important. We cannot give ourselves to every little task. We can't give ourselves to every project. A lot of times, most times, we have to simplify. And when we simplify and we find what's really important, and Capricorn energy wants you to find what's really important, give that your all. Give that your attention. So let me give you an example. So bears, for example. Bears, during the winter time, they go into hibernation mode. And they have spent all year building up and preparing and storing their resources in their fat in their bodies, so that when things get tough and when the season changes and when the weather changes, they're prepared to survive it. No matter what the circumstance, they're going to come out of it stronger, and they're going to go back in. They're going to find a mate. They're going to find new life, create new find new. I don't know, whatever bears do when it's spring and summer, they're out there, they're doing it. And the same should be true for you. So what Capricorn and what the winter solstice brings to you energetically is a time for you to, again, go through stock of your life and look at the darker sides of your life. And build a plan, build a structured routine that's going to help you to not only survive, but to thrive throughout the struggles of your life, the challenges of your life. And we're not, during this hibernation period, you don't have to be completely, hibernating. You don't have to completely seclude yourself if you don't want to, but it allows you, it gives you the chance, the opportunity to revisit your plans, to revisit the structure, the ground structure, and to build up. And that's what Capricorn energy wants you to do. On this day, the 21st, Saturn is the planet of commitment and responsibility, meets with the sun. The sun now is not able to give all of its light. Remember, it's the winter solstice. It's giving half of its light. It's giving half of its energy, but that energy is still really powerful. When the sun and Saturn meet, it kind of creates this energy of heaviness. So this could be a difficult day where you might hear, hard news, or you might realize, like, I can't do this. I wish I could do this, but I can't do this. Or I can't do this now, but if I prepare and I build, I can do this at a later time. Create the bones of what it is that you need for that later time, so that at that later time, you're able to not only survive, but to thrive and to build something of abundance and blessing. So the other thing that I want to talk about, and I would love to make a video about this as soon as I can, is the fact that Saturn is moving into the sign of Capricorn. Saturn is, again, like I said, about restriction, commitment, responsibility, and what it does for a lot of us is it kind of brings our mood down, which sounds kind of negative, and in some ways it can depress you, it can make you feel bad and low, but what it wants you to do is to be realistic. Saturn says it's time for you to grow up. It's time for you to be mature. It's time for you to be responsible and to take responsibility for your actions. And for a lot of people and a lot of and maybe it's not a lot of people, but sometimes, this slap in the face of reality kind of sobers us and makes us like, okay, I messed up here, but I'm gonna vow to do better. What do I need to do better? And energetically, that's what I want us all to walk into, is figuring out that plan, those bones, because Capricorn wants you to build the foundation to keep building up, trending up, becoming more powerful, becoming more successful, becoming more resilient. So that you rely on yourself and you're not broken down by smaller things, so that you become stronger. You have a stronger backbone, instead of what would normally trip you up and break you down now builds you up and makes you just be like, you know what? That I took a hit, but it didn't break me. It didn't kill me. And I'm still here and I'm walking out of this stronger. So for a lot of people, this is, again, a time of gathering with family. It is Christmas time after all. That is the winter solstice, and the celebration of Yule is coming together with family and friends and bringing your resources and combining them. So a great way to celebrate the winter solstice is to connect with your family and to be grateful for the time that you actually have together, if you guys are able to spend time together. Some people don't have that luxury. Also, this is a great time to be grateful for, whether you're with someone or whether you're alone, for the resources and the abundance that you do have. This is a time to reflect. Why? Because so many people before us in our generation, our ancestors, had to fight so much for the things that they had. And now it's like, you know what, let's be grateful. Let's share our resources. Let's share with others. What do you need? This is what I have. I need that. Let's exchange. So there's this energy of sharing and connecting with family, connecting with friends, connecting with our neighbors. And you'll see that because Christmas is the time of giving. Why? Because for a lot of people, energetically, it's a time of lack and a time of reflect. And maybe if you are in a state of abundance, that's amazing. Give gratitude and thankfulness for the fact that you do have abundance, or you do have these things, these resources, or food on the table, or friends and family, or a warm home that is, nourishing you and making you feel protected, and you're not out in the cold. And to be generous and give to others. Myself, I'm going to be using this time to spend with, people that I love. Granted, at this moment, I'm learning that I won't be able to, go and see my family, but I have friends around me, friends that are like family, and people who are like family to me that I will be around. And also, I will be doing a complete cleansing of and preparing and preparation for the year to come, a complete purging and releasing and giving those things that I have to people who do not have. And that's how I'll be celebrating it. Burning incense, going into my meditation space, cleansing, purging, releasing, all the things that I've been wanting to do is now what I'll be doing during this time. So let me know how you guys are feeling. Let me know if this video makes sense, if you have any additional questions about it. Let me know how you're feeling across the board. Tag me in your photos with your family and your family and your friends. Tag me in your photos of, the cider that you're making. I'll be sharing these things on my Snapchat as well, who I'll be around, the blessings that are currently going on in my life, because you guys already know I've committed to, and I'm just so open now to sharing more of the aspects of my personal life, sharing them with you, because you guys are like my family. And I'm also so grateful for the time that we spend together here on YouTube. I'm so grateful for your comments and the time that we spend on Instagram. It's just been so awesome. So I'm sending you my love. And until next time, I'll see you in my next video. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. And those thumbs up, likes, they make a difference, okay? So be generous with that. I love you. We'll talk soon. Bye.